Today I'm going to be reacting to Disintegration by The Cure. Now, just a quick update for any of you that this is the first The Cure reaction that you're seeing from me. I've heard 17 Seconds, I've heard Pornography, and I've heard Songs of a Lost World from last year. I'm very excited to get into this. I know that this is like considered, you know, a classic. I know that this is probably considered their best album. Make sure to go join the Patreon if you want to see this reaction uncut. There's a link in the description down below. And we're gonna hop into the first track, which is Plainsong. Oh my god! What an opening. Size to this is insane, bro. These vocals. Oh, the subtle build here. Oh my god. Beautiful, man. Super lush. Pornography felt like a huge step up from 17 Seconds in terms of the size of everything, the density of everything, but this feels like 5 steps up from Pornography, you know? So far, I mean, from this first track, it doesn't feel as dark as the last album. It feels a little bit more like, kind of like reminiscent in a way. Love the way those vocals were treated too. Let's keep going. Next track is Pictures of You. What is with the... Okay. That snare is so punchy. This does feel a little bit more like jangly, you know, more reminiscent of like the Smiths. I feel like the last album didn't have much of that. Ooh! Oh! Lyrics. What a line, man.
And we kissed as the sky fell in, holding you close. You were bigger, brighter, wider than snow.
Yeah, this album feels so much more, you know, hopeful and uplifting so far.
Open my eyes, but I never see anything.
Okay, maybe I take that back. Maybe this isn't a more uplifting album.
All my pictures are
Woo! These glistening textures. Oh, that little vocal melody. Love this more subdued vocal delivery here too. Oh, every time. Whoa. I was getting really emotional towards the end there. That was great. I kind of take back what I said about this being a more uplifting album. Like, certainly there's elements of that, but more than anything, this track feels bittersweet, I guess. Like, looking back fondly on these times, this idea of, you know, seeing this person in photos, in pictures, is kind of like a trigger in a sense where, yeah, I guess it gets you to think about this person, but then it also gets you to think about how they're not there anymore. Just a deeply lovesick track here. So far, this album feels not as much focused on the drums. It feels more like the drums feel further back in the mix or quieter in the mix. The guitars and the synths feel more, you know, like the forefront of this album so far. And even the vocals feel more like the forefront. Maybe not in the first track, but especially with this track, it's like a very, you need to hear every word that he's singing here. So it's a good choice to have the vocals, very up front. Let's keep going. Next track is Closedown. Wow. I mean, speaking of drums, love that bass tone. Everything feels extended here too. Like every section of these songs is really given time to breathe. Such an interesting contrast of like the urgency with the drums, but then the guitars and the synths feel so melancholy.
I'm running out of time. I'm out of step and closing down. Something more than mockery.
These lyrics are so good.
Only I could fill my heart with love.
Yeah, this track feels like a yearning for something real. It feels like we're chasing it, we're running towards it, but simultaneously running away from something else too. Like that opening line, I'm running out of time. Wow. Like I said, that track feels like running towards something, simultaneously running away from something. It feels hopelessly, like it just feels hopeless in a way. I don't know where I'm getting this from, but it feels like the idea of like the further you run towards something, the further you're running away from something. And it's like maybe that idea of like not fully knowing what you want. It says in Genius here, this is in part fueled by Robert Smith's fear of reaching the age of 30 and not having yet created his masterpiece, which that would make sense, feeling like you're running out of time. Just a really, really beautiful track. It's crazy, man. This first 3-track run feels like it could be an album in itself, This feels like a complete little, 3-track run. And if we're thinking about this in like, I guess, movie terms, maybe that's like Act 1. I don't know. All right, let's keep going. Next track is Lovesong. Very different from the last track. That guitar.
Whenever I'm alone with you, you make me feel like I am whole again. I will always love you.
Okay. Definitely a bit more of like a straightforward track here. I mean, you see that in the title where it's legit just Lovesong. Feels like it's trying to be like the radio pop hit of the album so far, but still some really good synth lines, great production, great percussion as well. And yeah, lyrics are a little bit more surface level here, but not necessarily a bad thing. It didn't wow me as much as the first 3 tracks, but I mean, it still was produced really well, so not terrible. So far, I'm loving the flow of this album. It's just making a lot of... It feels very intuitive so far. Everything is making sense in terms of the flow. All right, next track is Last Dance. Good groove here to the drums. These icy synths, man. It's so cold. The swells are crazy. I love how like syrupy this track is. Everything's just like melting together.
But older than me now, more constant, more real. A woman now standing where once there was only a girl.
Wow. What a passionate vocal performance.
The blindness of happiness, falling down laughing, all this in an instant. Before I could kiss you, it was only a girl.
crazy vocal performance. That track was so emotive, so raw, and vulnerable. Great dynamics to the vocal performance. I love this lyrical idea of having feelings for this person, but then with time passing, you know, it just isn't there anymore. In the way that we did when the woman was only a girl. It felt like the vocals were like kind of separate from the track, the instrumental too, in like a strange kind of almost atonal way where it's like the way he's singing isn't super melodic or tied to what the rest of the band is doing, but it really did create a very like distant and like separated track emotionally, dejected track emotionally, which I guess, you know, ties into the themes here. All right, next track is Lullaby. Oh, interesting tone. Whoa, this is so different than everything else. What? It's so dry. Oh, the plucked strings. What is happening? This is so exciting right now. What the heck? I love the whispers. Oh, this is great.
His arms are around me and he's turning my eyes.
I feel like I can see like 9 Inch Nails taking influence from this track vocally. Great delay on that. That's really cool. And then there's like a little reverse bit too. Oh, we're building here. Feels like everything's glued to that drum beat, man. That snare is really holding everything together. Oh my god. That's so interesting how that's the most streamed. Actually, sorry, no, it's not the most streamed, but the second most streamed on this album because it feels so different from a normal Cure song, you know? It's so dry, it's so punchy. Everything's so like, yeah, punchy and clicky and an interesting kind of whispered vocal delivery. It feels like they're experimenting with like stuff that is supposed to sound more acoustic and like more like real instruments on there, but they're obviously still being played through synths, but it's like trying to imitate that more acoustic feel, and it just created a really interesting soundscape that I feel like I haven't heard before, certainly from The Cure, but also just like that is such a one-of-a-kind track, man. Next track is Fascination Street. I feel like we're flying through this track list, but the back half here has a lot of like longer songs. Okay. Oh, the feedback. What is that like high screeching texture? What is that? Oh my god. That fill. There's like 5 different hooks going on right now. This is so catchy. What a bass freaking melody, man. Whoa, what's going on here in the lyrics? Some freaky stuff going on. Oh! Man. Love that vocal phrasing. Pull on your feet. That was a banger. That was so good. The textures, man, that like high texture throughout the entire track. I have no idea what that even was. Maybe just some like weird chopped up guitar feedback or something. I don't know, but that was unbelievable. What a vocal performance. The phrasing of the vocals I loved. Just an unreal bass riff too. It feels like a culmination of what this album has like done best so far. Yeah, just super lush, but simultaneously catchy. I mean, like every part of the instrumental, aside from those more like textural, atmospheric things, were so sticky and memorable. Yeah, that was great. Let's keep going. Next track is Prayers for Rain. This album is so varied too. Every track sounds so different. Oh, come on. Oh my god. That bass is so thick. Dude, these strings. Those are the most 80s strings I've ever heard.
You shattered me, your grip on me, a hold on me so dull it kills.
Man, it just feels like he really means every word here with how this is being delivered.
All waiting for the rain.
Great melody. Listen to this swell here.
Strangle me, entangle me in hopelessness, and prayers for rain, prayers for rain.
That fill. The reverse piano. Oh my god. Oh, this track is so... I mean, it just feels like it's about depression, you know? I deteriorate, I live in dirt. Nowhere glows but drearily and tired. The hours all spent on killing time again, all waiting for the rain. Prayers for rain, too. What's that one line? The hours all spent on killing time again, all waiting for the rain. So the rain maybe serving as like a just something positive, you know? Yeah, what a emo track, man. The bass was huge, bro. The bass was insane. That vocal performance was unreal. I really like the delay that they're putting on the vocals here. I feel like it feels like a man just, you know, screaming out into the void. It's really effective in aiding the atmosphere that they're creating on this album. Next track is The Same Deep Water as You. The rain came, guys. The rain came. Wow, I love just keeping the rain texture in there though. It sounds so good with the rest of the track. Oh, I could see this track, man. Oh, I love the two little hits right here. It's so good. Ooh, interesting harmonies here.
Kiss me goodbye, pushing out before I sleep on your lips. We should be together.
They do such a good job of just giving everything time to breathe, man. These tracks don't feel like they're 9 minutes long, too. Like, I'm just getting lost in this, and it's flying by.
Tightly hold on silently in my hands.
Oh, dynamics. You know, I feel like albums really have to earn moments like this, and I feel like this album is is earning it. There's not a lot of albums where you can just have the track just float on for like 2 minutes. The rain's still there. What a great freaking thunder recording. That sounded so good. It's like those 4D audio videos you see on YouTube. Yeah, that was fantastic. That was great. I really like this idea of wanting to be in the same deep water as somebody. You know, that to me, that feels like wanting to be on a similar like emotional level as somebody. That one line of swimming the same deep water as you is hard. The shallow drowned lose less than we. So the idea of if you don't commit to somebody on like a super deep emotional level, it's less risky, because if it ends, you're not losing as much because you didn't put in as much, you know? The strangest twist upon your lips, and we shall be together. So is that her saying this to him? I think it is, because it's in quotations. The shallow drowned lose less than we. Interesting. So is this person saying to him, there's no point in getting in establishing a super deep connection, because, you know, if it ends, it's just gonna hurt more. Next track is the title track, Disintegration. Disintegration. So is this the snapping of the relationship here? Is this just a breakup album? And am I finally realizing that's what this is? I guess it is. These drums. Oh.
I miss the kiss, the stretch, the shameless kiss, violence, just let go, my heart.
Whoa, cool vocal production there. I love the structure of these tracks, like verse, catchy instrumental section, verse. It just gives each verse such time to breathe and resonate.
Aching kiss before I feel stench of the love the younger me starts to need to just let go. My heart's a stay to the end.
Ooh.
I leave the babies.
I like where the bass went there. That's a great vocal melody. The triplet there. Oh, this stuttering rhythm.
So it's all come back round to breaking apart again.
Dude.
Over and over. Now that I know that I'm
Phil.
breaking to pieces, I'm dropping from sky through the glass of the roof.
Vocal performance.
Roof of your mouth,
Ugh.
the mouth of your eye. Pictures of trickery and stains on the carpet, stains on the memory of.
That was so good. That's like easily my favorite Cure song I've ever heard. That vocal performance, what an impassioned vocal performance. It felt improvised in a way. It felt so real and so just like from the heart and so not premeditated at all. Like obviously this is written down and it's not like he's actually freestyling, but the way it's performed and just the way that this song progresses, it's conversational in a way. It's, you know, stream of consciousness, I guess is the better way to put it, not conversational. But the way it comes out is just so unfiltered. I love it. It's so good, man. That was unreal. It says that this is like generally considered as one of their best songs, which I can see. I mean, it easily takes the cake as my favorite song that I've heard from them so far. I'm like at a loss for words with this one. All right, second last track is Homesick. Oh my gosh. Oh, the acoustic guitar? The way that came in was so off kilter. That was crazy. Close and personal.
It was wild and oh, how it goes.
It's crazy. I was just gonna say how this track is so like syrupy, and I said this about a track earlier, but it feels like all the instruments are just melting together. And then he says, "I trembled, stuck in honey." That was a weird coincidence. It's like he's like endlessly sad, but like playing it off in like kind of a cool way at the same time. Oh yeah. That's good. Let's keep going. Last track. I don't have much to say about that one. The piano was great though. Untitled. What is this? Harmonica? What is this? Drums. Oh, okay. They do use a drum machine. Okay. I just searched that up real quick because like the drums are so varied on this album, but they feel live at the same time.
Pushing my face in the memory of you again. Now the time has gone. Another time undone.
Ooh, interesting guitar harmonies.
Never quite said what I wanted to say to you. Now the time has gone.
Beautiful vocals on this track. It's less like performative on this track and more subdued. Such an interesting harmony. It injects some hope, some brightness into this otherwise very dreary album. There you go. That is Disintegration by The Cure. Talk a little bit about this last track here. Wow. I mean, the lyrics here are rough. They're rough, to say the least. Hopelessly adrift in the eyes of the ghost again. Down on my knees and my hands in the air again. Pushing my face in the memory of you again. But I never know if it's real. Just the first 4 lines of this verse are like a perfect, like story in themselves. The flow of that is just perfect. It's such a great combination of like abstraction and imagery, but also just raw emotion and just more straightforward lyricism. It just feels so authentic and personal. And like, if this was me listening to this a couple years ago, some of this maybe would come across as like kind of cringy to me in the sense of like, it's so emo, but now I'm at a point where like, I just appreciate the fact that somebody is this honest in their music. Overall, it feels like this album is like kind of operating in that the bittersweetness, I guess, of like these memories. Sometimes it's positive memories, and you kind of hear that through the instrumentation, where it maybe will get a little bit like blissful or reminiscent or nostalgic, but in the lyrics, it's a lot of just like coming to a realization that they're just memories, and it's not the current now. Like this person isn't here now. What a heartbreaking album, man. So yeah, I am a big fan of this right off the bat. It is very ambitious musically. It takes its time. It lets things breathe. It's a little bit more varied, I feel like, than the previous albums I've heard from The Cure. Just a very icy and cold, but also blissful at times. It doesn't feel as dismal as Pornography does in terms of the sound of everything. There's a little bit more life to the sound. So yeah, there you go. Those are my thoughts on Disintegration by The Cure. Let me know your thoughts down below, and let me know any insights you have, of course. And I'll probably do some more of The Cure's albums in the future. Let me know what you would want to see me react to next. Make sure to go join the Patreon if you want to see this reaction uncut. There's a link in the description down below. Leave a like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.